A mini tablet that's only slightly larger than your phone. Extremely thin at just 5.2mm. Also extremely lightweight. And guess what? It also comes with a flexible OLED that happens to be a paper matte display. That means, look at that. Lesser glass, even clearer, even sharper and deeper blacks for your videos. Oh, did I also mention that it comes with the M Pencil Pro? And it also comes with a super clever case that you can use in 4 ways. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and it's also removable so you can use it as a standalone case. You know, some might use it for work, but I prefer to use it for play and social media. You know, it's better than browsing on my phone. So without further ado, let's just check out the HUAWEI MatePad Mini. Now, first things first, we have to start off with the design. Just taking a look at it for the very first time, instantly I could tell that this is a HUAWEI device. I like how they've used some pretty premium materials for the frame as well as the back panel. Very, very good. And in terms of the weight, like I said, it's only 260 grams that makes it so easy to hold in hand. Now, the key highlight here is all about how thin it actually is. So this is only 5.2mm, and if you have any thin phone at home, you'll find that this is actually thinner than that. So it's extremely slim, but it still packs a 6400 mAh battery that also supports 66 watts. Very fun number over there, a lot of 6. Anyway, it's going to be able to last you a couple of days on a single charge, and if you just run out of juice, you can always just charge it up real quick using the charger provided in the box. Now, having said that, this ultra slim and lightweight factors actually makes it super portable, so you can actually put it in your bag, obviously. You can also put it in the pocket, your blazer, and yeah, like I said, it will actually fit in some pants pockets, not your jeans, okay? Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the display at the front, because this is also something that's actually pretty impressive. Now at the front, we actually get here a flexible OLED display. That means it has deep blacks. It's actually 2.5K resolution. That means very, very sharp and clear if you're going to be watching a lot of videos. Now furthermore, it's also 120 Hz. That means gliding on it is going to be very smooth, and that is aided by that paper matte display. So having that paper matte display on here, other than being able to glide very smoothly, its main use here is actually to reduce all kinds of glare, especially if you are beside a light source, if you're working under the sun, and it's just going to be easier on your eyes, more comfortable for reading and all that. Now, another really important thing about having a matte display is it's going to support the M Pencil Pro even better. Writing on this just feels like you're writing on a piece of paper, and because you're using a proper M Pencil Pro, not a cheap kind of stylus, it actually reacts very, very accurately, which I'll talk about in the next segment. Now, it's also worth highlighting that the bezels on the display itself is extremely thin, so just holding it, using it, it just feels good. Now, in case you're wondering, the display itself also gets all the way up to 1800 nits of maximum brightness. So if you're doing your presentation outdoors, you know, some people, you do sales and all that, you want to show your deck, your pitch and all that, you can still rely on this tablet to do your presentations outdoors. Alright, now let's move on and talk about another really cool thing that we have here, and that's actually this leather vegan folio. Vegan leather folio. Okay, now typically when I see a case, I don't get too excited about it, but this one is actually something that I would really use. So for instance, you can use it in 4 ways. The first one is to use it as a typical protective case, pretty simple. Secondly is obviously to open it up and actually use it sort of like a notebook, reading your stuff, writing your notes and all that, pretty straightforward. You can also fold it up and use it as a stand if you just want to watch your videos. And finally, it's actually removable, so you can just use it as a standard case. Now this is what I like, because the tablet itself is so thin and you don't want to use a thick case. It fits perfectly because this is also a very slim case. So very clever about that. You're getting that in the box together with the M Pencil Pro. Now let's talk a little bit about some real-world use cases, and here is my top 3 favorite ones. Now first up, we actually have HUAWEI Notes on here, which I'm sure some of you might be familiar with because I talked about it in previous videos. Obviously, you can jot down your notes, download all kinds of covers and papers in the resource center. You can also record down meetings and lectures and all that and play back later on, so it's actually a very useful app on there. Now, secondly, another really important app that you actually have in here is actually the PC level WPS or WPS Office PC. Now, this is actually super important and exciting because typically you would see it in larger, more expensive tablets from HUAWEI as well, but now you're also getting it on the MatePad Mini. This allows you to do your work, read documents, read your presentations, PPTs, like I said earlier on. And if you want to get creative, you can also connect a Bluetooth keyboard so you can actually do your work on the MatePad Mini. So that's also pretty fun there. And finally, we also have GoPaint on board. Yep, you guys might also already be familiar with GoPaint. This is a creative app. You can sketch on there. And because we are using the M Pencil Pro, like I said earlier on, it's actually very sensitive. The latency is very low. It feels just like you are using a pencil on a paper. So it's that cool, and you can do all kinds of sketches, animations on the GoPaint app because this is a professional painting app. Now, obviously, if you want to do your basic stuff like signing documents on your PDFs and all that, you can also do that. You can also use that split screen to multitask between your apps. And using Gmail on here is also especially convenient because you have a larger view, similar to what you get on a desktop. So all in all, this is actually a very exciting tablet, the HUAWEI MatePad Mini, a very impressive device, one that's super lightweight, extremely slim, super portable, and a tablet that you actually want to use. Again, if you are someone who don't really fancy those large tablets and you don't really want to invest in a foldable, this is actually the sweet spot, guys. Bring this along to help you with your entertainment, productivity, and creativity. Anyway, the price for this is going for RM2399, and I heard that there's an early bird offer of like RM200 off, so effectively RM2199. And as usual, there's a couple of freebies which I will show you on your screens right now. Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you have any further questions about the device itself, feel free to leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching today's video all the way to the end. Hopefully it has helped you out in a way or another, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Do take care, stay creative, and bye-bye.